Shout out to Caressa for sending me the story that's coming out of New York, where today we'll be talking about this woman whose name is Samra Brouk. Her name is spelled Brouk. I'm probably mispronouncing her name, but at this point, I don't give a damn if I mispronounce her name or not, considering what this chick is trying to do. So those of y'all who are in New York and y'all have children, y'all better watch out for her. So this woman is a lawmaker. She's a Democrat, and she wants to implement mandatory sex ed classes for kindergartners. Do y'all know the age of a kindergartner? The age of a kindergartner is like, what, 5 to 6, I think? I think that's what it is. And trust and believe, it gets worse from here. The sex ed for kindergartners, that's just on the surface of what she wants done. I already skimmed through just a little bit and stopped dead in my tracks just to record this video of what else she wants implemented within this curriculum. It says, get ready for the latest woke wave in education. Comprehensive sex ed for kids as young as 5, thanks to a new bill in the state Senate. Legislation sponsored by State Senator Samra Brouk, a freshman Democrat from Rochester, would tie New York Health curriculum to standards written by a left-wing interest group that advocates sex ed for social change and would make those lessons mandatory statewide. Under that group's current standards, public and charter schools would have to teach 5-year-olds about quote-unquote gender identity. So you know where they head with this. And instruct 8-year-olds on hormone blockers, better known as puberty blockers, to prevent puberty and transgender identifying preteens. Y'all, I'm not even halfway through the article yet, and I smell bullshit wavering all over this. And look at who they use yet again to push this. A black woman. Kids as young as 11 would get lectures on vaginal, oral, and anal sex, study queer, two-spirit. Two-spirit? What is two-spirit? That's a new one. Asexual, pansexual, and other gender identities. And see, here's the thing. Here's the trick bag where they try to get you. They always like to say there's more than one gender. I mean, more than 2 genders. They'll say, look, there's only 2 genders, male and female. But what they get you with the trick bag is they throw in the two-spirit, asexual, pansexual, and then try to identify those as genders when they're not. Those are just gender identities or sexual identities. And receive explicit instruction on the use of external and internal condoms, dental dams, and other contraceptives. This is stuff they want to teach children who have not gone through puberty. Notice when they're doing it, and notice that they're trying to teach them about hormone blockers or puberty blockers. I talked about that a couple times on my channel, and it's being brought up again. And this time it's in the States. I told y'all, whatever happens somewhere else is going to trickle down. This is what they're trying to teach kids, and they're trying to make it mandatory, meaning if the child does not do it, then they can't go to school. And look who they're using to push it, and she's signing off on it. So she's in full compliance with this. Brook told the Post, I am greatly concerned about the unacceptability high incidence of relationship violence, sexual harassment, and assault, and online bullying in our society today. We must equip the next generation with the skills and education they will need to thrive. But her proposal would legally link New York schools to the shifting recommendations of the Sexuality Information and Education Council of the United States. We would be outsourcing our curriculum to this outside organization, said Assemblyman Michael Riley, a member of the Education Committee. That's a concern. So basically, this woman is signing off on a curriculum that's not even attached to the main school curriculum, but is going to an outside source. So that means that's more money that they're going to have to spend for something that would be considered to be unconstitutional and not a part of the curriculum, because that's what she wants. They're basically saying that and based on what this other person just said, it says they don't have a problem per se with it. The problem is that they're outsourcing this curriculum to an outside organization that's not attached to the school or to the schooling system in New York, is what basically their big issue comes from. Some parents are also worried. I would be shocked if they weren't. The state constitution guarantees a basic education, but nowhere does it say we have to prepare our kids to change their sex if they want to, said Sam Perizzolo of the New York City Parents Union. We have schools where 95% of the kids can't read or do math at grade level, and now they want to bring in these complicated social justice issues. That's BS. Even parents who approve of sex ed in school are queasy about the envelope pushing topics that the law would require. It's inappropriate, said Ken Jewell, a Manhattan family law attorney whose two children attend New York Public City elementary schools. These are things that kids that age are not capable of comprehending yet. Jewell favors early grade instruction on personal space and pedophilia protection, but think Brook's measure goes too far. As a dad, I want my kid armed enough to know if something is wrong, he said, but I don't want to put knowledge in their heads that takes away the innocence of childhood. A recent study by the Montclair State University professors boosted early sex education as a way to preventing child sex abuse and later partner violence. But here's the thing. You're teaching these children about something they shouldn't be learning about at this age. What's that going to do? That's going to make them want to go out there and experiment, quote unquote, with other children, or worse, grown adults. When I hear stuff like this, it sounds like it's a breeding ground for these freaks of nature, let me put it like that, to just swarm in and mess with these kids. And then all they'll say is, well, the kid knew what they were doing, so it should have been consensual. You never know. Look what they're doing over in California right now. This is insane. I am in love with the SCICU standards, declared child psychologist Dr. Kelly Rabenstein Donahoe. They discuss all aspects of human sexual development and relationships and promote better communication about uncomfortable topics. This knowledge both protects kids and prepares them. Prepares them for what exactly? New York is one of 22 states that lacks a statewide sex ed requirement. State law leaves the topic of local school districts to decide, other than HIV/AIDS instruction, which is required for grades K through 12 using lesson plans consistent with community values. In New York City public schools, that means lower grade instruction on viruses and the immune system with no mention of sexual contact until 4th grade. Middle and high schoolers receive sexual health education in city schools starting in the 6th grade. They groom them fast up in New York. But look at how low she wants to bring it. She wants to bring it down to kindergarten. Some of these kids are just barely out of diapers. Shoot, some of them might still be wearing one. And you want to have them learn about sex ed in kindergarten when they should just be learning their ABCs, saying full sentences, spelling longer words, and, basic kid stuff. And you want to throw on to them something that would be best suited for them to learn post puberty, if they even reach it, because now they want to talk about hormone and puberty blockers. I told y'all it was coming. And I don't want to make this sound political, but look who's doing it. Another Democrat. And the voice of reason is another Republican. Like I said, I don't swing for any party or bat for any party. But when it comes to topics like this, the conservatives usually are the ones that are level-headed and make the most sense, opposed to the Democrats who are just somewhere off in space where their bodies are still here, but their heads are unattached and floating in the air somewhere. That is insane. I need to find out, anybody, I know I have people who watch me who are from New York. Did y'all know about this? And if you did, what is your take on it? Do you have kids? And if this is your first time hearing about it, well, I know y'all gonna express yourselves how you feel down in the comments, because I know y'all about to go off about this, because this is ridiculous. It really is. This is doing too much. This is doing entirely too much. I wish that kids could go back to the times when I was a kid, when we didn't have to worry about this, or our parents, we didn't have to worry about this. But now they are thrusting children into this world that they're not ready for. They're still kids. Let them be children. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Make sure that you text the number that's pinned down in the comments below to receive notifications every time I upload a new video or go live.